It is time once again for another NFL Weekly Recap right here on the Kanika Sports Channel. And before we get into all of it, I just got to give a programming note here that we have to pay a little bit more attention now to the NFL because the Bears, our team, who we've been covering since the beginning, since the draft, all the way through the summer, that Caleb Williams has to answer for his atrocities in the Seth Wickersham book. We've been here through it all, but it's taken on new meaning over the past week because we now have a team that is gone from being a cute story in Ben Johnson's first season as head coach to legitimate threat / possible Super Bowl contender. And
potentially, yeah.
We have to wait and see how far this crazy train takes us. I'm not totally jumping all the way into the Kool-Aid pool yet, but I am buying into some things about this Bears team. We're going to get into that in just 1 second, but do me a favor. If this is your first time here, please do us a solid and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell for our mascot, Freckles, a.k.a. Frexy. Check her out. She is just the most adorable NFL pooch I feel that exists on YouTube.
Thank you.
I've declared it.
You declared it. All right. Must be true then.
It must be true. All right. Well, we are going to be reacting to a lot of Week 13 stuff here and sort of transitioning to Week 14 by the end of it, I promise. But let's get it started, Nika. The Bears are the #1 seed in the NFC as we enter December. And that's because the Panthers, of all teams, continue to be the gift that keeps on giving to the Bears. They defeat the LA Rams this week, sort of unexpectedly, I guess, here. And they themselves are now finding themselves on the bubble of a playoff opportunity, the Panthers.
Great.
So weird things happening all across the NFL. The experts, heads exploding probably with their preseason predictions. This has taken on new meaning for us because, like I said, we've been here since the beginning. And now all of a sudden I feel like, well, we better start to scout the top tier teams and not just the week to week stuff and like start to pay attention here and see where we think the Bears might actually land and end up when the dust settles, including like outside of the playoff picture, which is still a possibility.
Okay. There's a lot of new different teams this time around.
There's a lot of havoc happening. There's a lot of chaos right now, I think, happening and a lot of close divisional races. And that's also making things interesting. So
at the beginning of the season, nobody predicted the Bears to be that far. Nobody predicted the Jaguars doing so well. Or
the Patriots necessarily, or the Broncos. I mean, I think they were closer than the Bears were. The Broncos and Patriots, definitely. The Patriots are going to have 3 times as many wins as they had last season already. Like, wow. And you know, the Bears had 5. They are 1 win away from doubling up. A lot of people think Mike Vrabel is still the coach of the year for the turnaround the Patriots have made, and it's hard to argue against it. And we'll talk about the Patriots in 1 second. But Ben Johnson was asked about how he feels about the Bears being the #1 seed in the NFC, and I really liked his answer here. This is from USA Today's Bears Wire coverage. Quote, "Doesn't mean anything," Johnson said. "There's 5 games left. We've got a long ways to go. We have not been guaranteed a spot in the tournament yet. We have to earn that right. And the only way you can earn that right is by finding a way to win the next game. That's where our sole focus is." Again, I really like this answer from the head coach here. We got 5 weeks left, and that's an eternity in the NFL.
Sure. A lot of things can happen. A lot of injuries could happen.
Yeah, I think for now, at least for me, I'm watching the week to week. Can the Bears actually hang on to this top spot with the schedule they have remaining? It looks tough, but I do think it's possible. I'm just taking it week to week, though.
You have to.
We've been here for a fun ride this year, and now that things are turning on to take on a more serious tone, I'm not going to change my mindset. I'm still just along for the ride this year. At the same time, I want the Bears to go as far as they possibly can to the Super Bowl if possible. You know,
sure.
Why not? Got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get them in life. So yeah, don't just say like, oh, well, it's just Ben Johnson's first year. We'll get back here. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. All right. Well, As I said, feeling a little bit more obligated in scouting the competition, heading into the closing weeks of the NFL season. And I want to find out, could the NFC go through Soldier Field? It's crazy to even think that. Let's turn our attentions to the AFC really quick.
Okay.
Because the Patriots were on Monday Night Football. And after last night's, I don't know what you want to call it, ass beating of the Giants, basically, the Patriots now have an 11-2 record on the season. They are a half a game ahead of the Broncos, who are 10-2. The Patriots are on their bye week now.
Okay, so they play one more game than the other teams.
And week 14, which is coming up, is the final week of bye weeks. Okay. So here it is, folks. The Patriots, 11-2. They kill the Giants on Monday Night Football. The Giants are probably in quitting mode at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
I saw this stat. The Patriots are the first team in NFL history with 10 straight games scoring 23 or more points and allowing 23 or fewer points.
Well, that's a good record.
In the middle of a single season. Yeah.
That's
when you
amazing.
think about like the 85 Bears, that defense, when you think about even the Patriots dynasty of 6 championships.
They didn't have that.
None of them. So pretty crazy to think about that this Patriots team is the one that's gotten it done behind second-year quarterback Drake Maye.
How was their beginning of his schedule?
Well, they have not had a tough schedule. Like we said, NFL schedules are determined based on your record the previous year. That's why people are quick to criticize the Bears, who we were just talking about, is because they say they haven't played anybody. And a lot of people say that about the Patriots, too. You can only play who's on your schedule, everybody. And so you have to play the teams. I know it doesn't look pretty. Las Vegas, the Bears played Las Vegas. Miami, they were awful at the beginning of the year. They are starting to make a last-minute push here. We'll talk about them before we get out of here, I promise. Pittsburgh, Carolina, Buffalo. I mean, all 3 of those teams are in the playoff hunt. But then New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, all those teams are out of the playoff hunt almost already. And then you have Tampa Bay, who is alive, but then the Jets, the Bengals, and the Giants, all teams that are pretty much dead upon arrival right now. So, yeah, they have a pretty lopsided schedule too, just like the Bears have. Maybe the Patriots are getting a little too much credit here, or the Bears are getting too much criticism. Probably the latter, if I'm being honest, because... Or maybe a mixture of the two, because New England, they get the same bias that the Red Sox get in baseball. They're an East Coast team. There's East Coast bias in the NFL, even though it was started by the Bears. It's just true. It's just what's happened. You know, ESPN is located in Bristol, Connecticut, which is like a hop, skip, and a jump to Boston, Massachusetts.
It's called Eastern something, isn't it?
Eastern Seaboard Broadcasting Network. Or
not
programming network. Anyways, it's tough to argue, though, that Drake Maye right now is the front runner for NFL MVP. I mean, I'm looking at his numbers on the season. He has a 71.5 completion percentage on the season. You know, that's what Ben Johnson was hoping Caleb Williams would deliver. And he set that goal for him. It's not necessarily something that he said he has to get it right away in year one under my program, but he did set that as like the standard and the goal. And so Drake Maye in year 2 is getting that in New England. Interesting.
So hopefully Caleb can get by next year.
Yeah, I mean, Drake Maye also has a new first-year head coach, so he's in a similar situation. I'm not comparing, by the way. I'm just pointing it out that this is the reality of what we're dealing with. He has a 111.9 passer rating on this season. He already has 3,412 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's a 17-plus interceptions to touchdowns ratio. He's 17 plus touchdowns. And that's just in 13 games. Like I said, he's easily going to eclipse 4,000 yards this year. He might even sniff 5,000 at this rate, but let's get to 4,000 first. 30 touchdowns, though, has got to be on the table. He's definitely looking like a surefire MVP, especially with what I just said. The East Coast bias does exist.
You sure?
Look, keep an eye on Drake Maye week to week, and if he keeps building on this. But Denver, not to be outdone by the New England Patriots, 9 straight wins in the AFC. So you have these two teams, and they are, of course, led by Bo Nix, their second-year quarterback. You have these two teams atop the AFC, and you have the Bears atop the NFC.
All quarterbacks from the same
5
class.
straight wins for the Bears, 9 out of 10 wins for the Bears, 9 straight wins for Denver, 10 straight wins for New England. I mean, the cream is rising to the top from the 2024 draft class, everybody.
Yep.
All 3 of these quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake Maye, were taken in the first round. Of course, Jaden Daniels was also taken in the first round last year. He is out right now with that nasty-looking elbow injury, and he's just had an injury-riddled season. But he did make it all the way to the NFC Championship game last year.
He did.
So I got to feel like this draft class is looking like one of the best quarterback draft classes of all time when you factor in how these 4 quarterbacks have done in their first 2 seasons.
Well, there was
combined.
also a 5th, J.J. McCarthy, that's at
Sure.
the Vikings, but he hasn't played as well as the other 4.
Fine, but you still have these 4 already contributing to their teams in their first 2 seasons. And I know Jaden is hurt, but we've talked about him before. He is probably a top-tier quarterback when healthy. And it's affected Washington's season, no doubt. It sucks. It's happened. It's my biggest fear for the Bears, is like what happens when that happens to Caleb one year and it becomes a injury-riddled thing. It's bound to happen, right?
Yeah.
But let's not have it happen this year.
Knock on wood.
I'm knocking on all the wood on my desk, everybody. Every wood I can find. All right. Well, the draft class that could be legendary. Keep an eye on it. It's fun to watch, and they're so young, and the whole landscape of the NFL is now changed. Because, like you said when we got on the airwaves, these teams weren't necessarily projected to be quite here yet.
No, not this season. They had glimpses last season and this season, but nobody had them on the bingo card that they're gonna get that far.
Nobody.
At least the mainstream media.
Nobody did. But it is sure fun to see everyone kind of come into their own, maybe even ahead of schedule. We look at the rest of the Week 13 games. The Packers, of course, defeated the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit, putting the Lions now 2 games back of Dub Airs. The Chiefs lose at Dallas. We said the loser of this game will not make the playoffs. It looks like some people around the NFL agreed with us. More on that in 1 second. And then the Bengals just ran all over the Ravens, turning that division back on its heels. The Ravens hold the edge over the Steelers, but they are now kind of neck and neck with each other here coming down the stretch. And then, of course, the Bears upset the Eagles on Black Friday, winning 24-15 definitively. They win by 2 scores on the road. 9 points is 2 scores, everybody.
In the windy conditions.
Yes, and they just played smash mouth football. I love it. Love every second of it. And then you have some other things around the league happening. The Texans sort of upset the Colts and are now on the verge of getting back in the playoff race. You have the Dolphins over the Saints. The Dolphins are making a weird last-minute push after all their early season drama. The Jets beat the Falcons in a battle of scrubs. The 49ers just trampled Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. We watched that game, actually, with high hopes, and we were let down quickly. The Panthers, as we said, upset the Rams. The Jaguars are now finding themselves in first place ahead of the Colts, with both teams having 8-4 records. They trampled the Titans 25-3. The Titans are terrible. The Buccaneers win a squeaker against the Cardinals 20-17. The Seahawks trampled the Vikings. The Vikings have quit, everyone. They need to bust out their Norse mythology. Like, I think Ragnarok has hit in Minnesota because they need to just start anew, right?
Yeah, they stopped giving Odin
blessings.
Or not blessings, sacrifices.
Too much skull and not enough Odin.
There you go.
I'm onto something. The Bills trampled the Steelers. Also, by the way, the Steelers looking rough. Aaron Rodgers left the game with a bloody nose and some other issues. Looks like that wrist got kind of banged up. But the Steelers are in all kinds of trouble right now, and the Bills looking to maybe get back on track. One little nugget about the Bills before we get out of here, I promise. The Chargers, they stomped the Raiders, but in doing so, they may have lost Justin Herbert to a similar situation as Aaron Rodgers is in, injury to his left wrist, his non-throwing wrist. No word on if he's going to play against the Eagles on Monday Night Football this week.
That's nuts.
And the Broncos, they win that game against the Commanders in overtime, 27-26. What a game. And the Patriots, as we mentioned, just stomping the Giants.
The whole league is just doesn't have the usual suspects before the playoffs.
Truth. Truth. As you look around the standings here, the Patriots, as we mentioned, 11-2. They are 2.5 games up on the Bills right now. The Bills, everyone had them winning that division by a landslide, and here the Patriots are 2.5 games up with 5 weeks left. So, and they do play each other, not this week. The Ravens and Steelers, as we mentioned, both 6-6, with the Ravens currently holding that tiebreaker. The Jaguars and Colts also both tied, with the Jaguars holding that tiebreaker. And then the Broncos 2 games ahead of the Chargers right now, and the Chiefs 4 games behind the Broncos in the AFC West. Wow. In the NFC, you have the Eagles comfortably up on the Cowboys, I would say, but only a game and a half when you look at it. The tie, the Cowboys tie really throws a wrench into things because there's only one loss that separates them now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you have the Bears and Packers also with a tie game situation. Packers 8-3-1, Bears 9-3. The Buccaneers 7-5, the Panthers 7-6, coming up on their heels. And then the Panthers are off this week, so it's all on the Buccaneers right now to win or lose to maintain hold on the division.
It's getting interesting.
And then you have the Seahawks and Rams both tied at 9-3 atop the NFC West. So some fascinating races down the stretch here in these 8 divisions. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
And Fox Sports is on top of it here. If you look at the graphic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams have been eliminated from playoff contention. That's it. I mean, with 5 weeks remaining, there are 27 teams alive mathematically. Now, when you look at who's on the bubble, and like I said earlier, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Bengals, Vikings, Jets, Commanders, Browns all have a 1% chance or less of making the playoffs, except for the Bengals, who are at 2%.
Well, because their quarterback got back in.
So those 7 teams, while not mathematically eliminated, are out. They need a miracle of miracles to make it.
It's not going to happen.
The other teams on the bubble, the Chiefs, Steelers, and Texans in the AFC, and that's in order, 10-9-8. And then the Panthers, Cowboys, Lions, 10-9-8. That's a little bit more interesting, and it gets really interesting really fast, folks, because here is your Week 14 playoff picture games. In the NFC, we have the Bears at the Packers. So the two top teams are getting into it right away. And then we have the Cowboys and the Lions, and if you looked at what I just showed you, they are the top 2 bubble teams, 8 and 9, the top 2 teams on the outside looking in. I'm going to go ahead and declare right now, whoever loses this game will not make the playoffs. Lions or Cowboys. They will feel the effects of this loss just too much. It'll be either team's 6th loss. And the Cowboys, again, they tied the Packers, so they have that tie, which factors into this. So the Lions, if they lose to the Cowboys, would effectively fall behind them because they would have more losses.
Okay.
That is the Thursday night Amazon game, by the way. So that is coming right up. Exciting.
If I was a betting person, I would go with the Cowboys.
Well, the Lions are at home.
Okay. That plays a factor. Nah.
Yeah. You might want to think about that for a couple more days, huh?
I will.
All right. Just a word of advice. Check this out, though. We also got, like I said, Bears at Packers. I'm not ready to make any declarations about this game deciding the division because they play each other 2 times in 3 weeks. They have not seen each other yet this year. And I just feel like the Bears need to be seen to be believed by other teams right now. And the Eagles are the latest victim. The Bears hit you. They hit hard. And they're getting more and more confident week to week. So,
as the Dolphins, what they thought of it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! You brought that up. That is a good point, and we'll get into all that again another time. I swear that is funny though. In retrospect of what's happened this season, how the Bears have sort of become this physical feisty team, and the Dolphins were complaining about that in the preseason, if you'll remember. So, oops. Might have picked the wrong sport if you don't like a little physicality, everybody.
No shit.
Talk about culture changers. All right, let's change gears and look at the AFC. We got Colts at Jaguars. If you remember, we just talked about this. They are neck and neck right now, 8-4 atop the AFC South. So this matchup will clearly give the winner the driver's seat in that division for now. You also have Steelers at Ravens. We just showed you they are tied 6-6 atop the AFC North. And why not, right? Sunday Night Football, Texans at Chiefs. We showed you the bubble teams, 8 and 10 respectively. The Texans are 8. The Chiefs are ranked 10 right now in the AFC. I'm going to go ahead and declare again. I already killed the Chiefs once, but I'm going to give them life.
Okay.
If they somehow win this game, it puts them in a tie with the Texans, and it is at home. It is at Kansas City, but I think even more so, if the Texans can find a way to win this game, it will solidify their season. It also puts the Chiefs under 500, which puts them in a really weird spot.
Nobody had that in the bingo card this season.
And yet, you can go through the history books. You can go through Peyton Manning's career. You can go through probably Tom Brady's career, if I'm being honest. I don't know where. And find a losing season in there somewhere.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just happens. And Patrick Mahomes is not Jesus. He doesn't walk on water. I'm sorry.
Okay, then.
Well, despite what some people in Kansas City might want to think. I'm just being facetious in this Christmas season, everybody. No, it's good to see. I don't like it when there's a dynasty every decade, unless it's the Bears, of course. They're allowed. They are allowed to win a dynasty whenever they want to, my friends. No kidding. And then, so those are the AFC matchups. But I don't want to forget about Monday Night Football before we get out of here because, wow, talk about two teams that are in the hunt, not on the bubble, but inside the bubble. You have the Chargers, who might be without Justin Herbert, as we just said, facing off against the Eagles, who are by a thin thread now hanging on to the division lead in the NFC East. And on a 2-game losing streak, heading into a big Monday night primetime game, all eyes are going to be on the Eagles. Because if they lose this game, I think people are going to be writing them off. And they just, their body language was not good against the Bears.
They looked like a defeated team.
As a Bears fan, I'm not sad about that in any way because, whatever way we can get to the Super Bowl is
win is a win.
A win is a win, and if the Eagles want to quit and be done this year because they won last year, then fine. Let them enjoy last year's. We'll enjoy this year's if we can make it happen. But look, long way to go, everybody. Lots of Kool-Aid left to consume. Lots of weeks of Kool-Aid left to consume, if I'm being honest. And I'm just excited for, you look at this now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marquee matchups in week 14. And we have 4 teams off.
Yes.
And then it's all on from here on out. It's going to be an exciting photo finish, I think.
It is.
And there's going to be some heartbreak at the end of this season with some bubble teams that are good football teams that will not get that postseason experience.
Yeah. Well, that's football.
And it could be the Bears. I'm fully ready for it to happen. I don't want it to happen. I see the Bears going 3-2 over their final 5 games. More on that on our Bears pregame show on Friday. But I'm prepared mentally for it to happen too.
Oh, please do prepare yourself because I cannot handle you crying over here.
Crying. Game day gets a little intense sometimes, everybody. One last thing before we get out of here. The special mention of the Week 13 goes out to Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, Nika.
Oh.
And Josh Allen is now, after this week, the all-time leader in NFL history in rushing touchdowns by a quarterback.
Oh, nice. So they
that is all-time. All-time NFL leader in rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
A guy who is not even 30 yet.
That's great.
When you think of Lamar too and everything, it's like he's slowing down already. You can see it. He's not running as much anymore. And
injury.
And the injuries have slowed him down this year.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder, will this record be touched for a while?
Maybe.
There's some good young quarterbacks like we've talked about. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams both have legs. Even Drake Maye and Bo Nix have used their legs. So I'm not saying that this record is untouchable. I think it speaks to the changing guard of the game. When you look at the names on this list, Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts, Steve Young is the oldest name on the list, and he's from the 90s.
The record hasn't been touched since the 90s.
And Jay Kemp, I am so sorry I forgot his first name. He is from the 50s.
Okay.
So he goes back to an era where they did a lot more, college football style quarterback option running. That kind of, it was more of a ground game, the passing game. The deep ball was not a thing yet. Anyways, so exciting stuff. Good job. Congratulations, Josh Allen, on your milestone. Pretty damned impressive. So we'll wait and see how the Bills season plays out. They have some work to do, everybody.
They do.
Well, that's it for this episode of the NFL Weekly Recap right here on the Kanika Sports Channel. We'll be back Friday to preview a lot of these games coming up, as well as the big Bears-Packers game. I'm excited for it. You're excited for it. We're all excited for the Bears.